Everyone, welcome back to this video where we're going to be discussing why Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation and money printing. So I'm going to talk to you about why I wanted to explore a little bit about Bitcoin's potential to protect wealth amidst economic instability. And so through this series, we're going to go through Bitcoin and ensure that you have a better understanding of why you want to use it and, and the benefits thereof. So just an introduction to Bitcoin and inflation. And what is Bitcoin? Essentially, Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency that isn't controlled by any central authority, thus making it resistant to market manipulation. And then also, inflation occurs essentially when too much money is printed, leading to a decline in the value of a currency, which is where Bitcoin's features can provide a safeguard. And you may wonder, what is inflation? So, inflation is when something is priced $5, and lo and behold, 3 years later, it's $15. And we'll talk about understanding inflation, the causes and the effects. And so, what inflation is essentially is when you have a demand for goods and services that exceed supply. Sometimes that leads to higher prices. It occurs when you're growing an economy and consumers are eager to spend, causing prices to rise. So think of COVID. Government gave everyone $2,000 and people wanted to spend that money. There's also cost push inflation. That occurs when production costs increase, leading producers to raise prices to maintain profit margins. This can be caused by rising wages, increased prices for raw materials, or supply chain disruption. So think of when now beef is gone up dramatically in price, and therefore companies like McDonald's and Wendy's end up raising prices. Bitcoin, there is also built-in inflation. So that's a result of adaptive expectations where and consumers expect prices to rise, so it increases wage inflation. And then there's also decreased purchasing power. So what's the negatives uh, about about this? Basically, your purchasing power decreases. So every unit of currency buys fewer goods and services, and that's why essentially people are now shopping at Walmart instead of Whole Foods. And as things go up, it makes it harder for you and your families to maintain a standard of living, and that can lead to social unrest and calls for government intervention. Also, one of the issues with high inflation is that it can cause economic uncertainty. So, higher inflation causes uncertainty in the economy, and it can slow down economic growth and lead to a recession. So, what's the role of money printing and inflation? We'll just explain to you. So, 25% ever since COVID, there's been a 25% increase in total by the US. There's approximately $1 trillion that have been printed since 2020. Just to take that into account, that 1923 was when Weimar Republic experienced hyperinflation. So why would you want to pick Bitcoin? It's decentralized, secure. There's a limited supply of 21 million coins. There's transparency through the blockchain. You can use it anywhere, and there's potential for high returns. Bitcoin's limited supply is essentially a hedge of inflation. So we talked about the fixed supply of 21 million. The contrast with fiat currency is that you can't keep printing it away, leading to inflation. And there's a value appreciation to scarcity. So as demand increases from people and supply remains fixed, Bitcoin's value tends to rise. And if we look at the historical performance of Bitcoin, 2011, it noticed an increase as global inflation occurred, and it was considered like an alternative investment. 2020 happened. Everyone got $2,000, and Bitcoin was seen as a significant surge in value as people wanted to protect themselves from the inflation. 2021, Bitcoin reaches all-time highs, and it's proven to be a strong hedge against purchasing power. So the good thing is the challenges and risks of using Bitcoin. So yeah, there's a lot of regulatory security breaches are common. Market manipulation like whales can affect prices, and there's still some technological. So in conclusion, I believe the future of Bitcoin in an inflationary environment. So Bitcoin's fixed supply of 21 million. Bitcoins makes it a scarce asset compared to fiat currencies that can be printed without whim or will. Bitcoin could emerge as a preferred store of value. And then later on videos, we'll talk about hyper Bitcoinization and what you can do to buy Bitcoin safely. So once again, we will be providing information in our future presentations, and just want to say thank you and have a great